Robot tribulation, huh?
ये नाम कैसे चेंज करते हैं? नाम यहाँ करते हैं या नेम कैप्स
Okay. Okay. Right. Dear participants, good evening, one and all. As the speaker has arrived, we'll just start our session.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we
Yes, sir,
start?
we'll start now. We are starting now. Right.
Ma'am, I'm getting the echo, ma'am.
Sir?
I'm getting the echo.
Okay. Madam, video is not okay. Fine. Anyway, we'll start. Good evening and a warm welcome to one and all for this 6-day online faculty development program on augmented and virtual reality technologies, principles, and practical implementation. I am P. Kavita, Associate Professor from Department of ECE, and I would like to now introduce the coordinator of this faculty development program, and along with me, Dr. V. Srilata Reddy, coordinator, and Mrs. A. Anita Madam, co-coordinator, has also joined our program. Now, I would like to introduce our college, CVR College of Engineering. This institution was established in the year 2001. It offers a BTech program with an intake of 120 students, a BTech in Electronics Engineering with specialization as VLSI Design and Technology with 60 students, and 2 MTech programs in VLSI System Design and Embedded Systems with an intake of 18 students each. This BTech program is NBA accredited under Tier 1 for 6 years from 2022. The MTech programs are also NBA accredited under Tier 1. Our department achievements include uh, uh, 2 teams of 5 members each from ECE second year being selected for presenting their ideas in the final round of Idea Storm event in E-Summit 2026 organized by IIT Roorkee. It will be conducted on 6th to 8th February this next month. And apart from that, we have our students along with one mentor, Dr. S. Shweta, being selected for one TOPS tape out program with a sanction of about 10 lakhs. This is the department achievement. And now I would like to welcome Mr. K. Ramesh Kumar sir to just I request Dr. V. Srilata Reddy ma'am to introduce the resource person for today's session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening to all. Myself, Dr. V. Srilata Reddy, and I warmly welcome you all to this online faculty development program session. It is a pleasure to have you all with us today. It is my great pleasure to introduce today's distinguished resource person for the program on augmented reality and virtual reality for principles and practical implementation. We are honored to have Mr. Ramesh Kumar Kalimuthu, Technical Manager, XR Products, Translators Info Services. It is a part of ARK, Bangalore, with us this evening. Mr. Ramesh Kumar has over 15 years of extensive experience spanning game development, gamification-based learning, Unity 3D, AR, VR, and computer graphics. He holds an MCA in computers and gaming applications, combining strong academic foundations with rich industry exposure. He is a certified Unity Associate Game Developer from Unity Technologies, San Francisco, and a certified Master Trainer recognized by MESC India. He has delivered 50 plus keynote talks and conducted 60 plus hands-on workshops and training programs, benefiting faculty, students, and industry professionals. And he actively contributes to academia, industry collaboration, serving as an external consultant and board of studies member for reputed institutions such as Seymour University, Jain University, and institutions associated with the University of Wales. With his expertise in XR technologies, Unity 3D, digital twin, IoT, and curriculum design, we are confident that today's session will be highly insightful, practical, and enriching. On behalf of the department, I extend a warm welcome to Mr. Ramesh Kumar Kalimutu and request him to kindly take over the session. Thank you all and wishing all the participants a very engaging learning experience this evening. So, Ramesh Kumar sir, I am requesting you to take over the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you a lot. Yeah. Good evening to one and all present here. Yeah, ma'am have already given a brief introduction about myself. Yeah, so I'm currently working as a XR technical manager in ARK under TSA. I mean TSA under ARK Info Solutions. So anyway, today I'm going to discuss about the importance and the actual technology like AR and VR. And for developing those applications, like what kind of a tool we are focusing, and I'm going to give the introduction about that particular tool as well. Yeah, yeah. Let me share my screen. Um, I hope my screen is visible. Yes. No.
Yes, sir, is
Yes.
visible.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, yeah, the technology which we are focusing today, augmented reality and virtual reality. Okay, these things is coming under the general term called immersive technologies. So before going to learn about the practical part and the hands-on, okay, first of all, okay, I would like to make the difference between okay these two technologies, okay, because generally when you talk about AR, VR, okay, the people are thinking that okay both the technologies are similar, and yeah, using the same hardware, okay, we can explore both the outputs or the applications like that. But that is not the case. Okay, both the things are okay two different applications. Yeah. Okay, so first, yeah, virtual reality and augmented reality, and both combining together, okay, we can develop the mixed reality applications also. So basically, uh, so first of all, okay, let me explain the history of these two technologies. So these two technologies was derived from the actual gaming, digital gaming. Okay, I hope like all of you were just have many applications in our mobile phone and in the PC. Okay, we have many games. So these games are the actual root of these two applications. Okay, so basically, making a games is a part, but after that we have many users. Okay, they are exploring a different type of games. Okay, like a strategy game, puzzle game, and first person shooter, racing game. Like okay, we have many concepts. So all those concepts are the actual seed of these two technologies. So generally, when we are playing a games, like according to the Indian myth or the elders and parents, okay, what we are thinking is like playing games is not really good for health, and we are spoiling our health, and we are not focusing on our day-to-day
Ramesh
work
sir.
and studies like that. But that is not the case. So that is one perspective of playing the games like that. The
Ramesh
Indian
sir,
people are
Excuse me,
thinking.
sir.
Yes, ma'am.
You keep a slideshow is not showing, so in a
Ah,
okay, so just
yeah. Is it visible, ma'am?
yes, sir, now it's fine.
Yeah. So playing games is kind of a crime in Indian ethical and in Indian tradition, but that is not the case. So if you look about the another perspective of playing games, like okay, we have many features like a strategy thinking, resource planning, time management, and critical thinking, logical thinking, and dynamic thinking like that. Okay, so we have many features of playing games. Okay, the one who are doing the research and development, they have identified that okay, playing a digital game is not a crime or just a waste of time. Okay, we have many features, okay, which is having behind playing the games. Okay, so they want to bring that technology to the next level. Okay, like we have so many features, okay, which was hidden, and we have to bring this particular gaming into the next level like that. Okay, they have did research. Okay, because of that, okay, they have identified the technology like augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality, and blah blah blah. Okay, so basically, generally when you are playing the games, we are focusing on some gameplay. You can see some environment, you guys can control the player. Okay, so we have some fun, that's it. But beyond that, if they are practicing the same concept again and again, okay, so their muscles also can remember like okay, how to play the game without focusing or without controlling. Even like okay, their strategy thinking is automatically improve. The time management, like okay, we have many things. So what they thought is that they are focusing all these benefits and they have fine tuned in three different ways, like safety, time, money. Okay, like that. Okay, so they have streamlined these 3 points to bring that gaming into the next level. So that is what our AR and VR. Okay, so like augmented reality application is fully focusing on the commercial areas. Okay, fully focusing on all the commercial industries. Okay, like a jewel shop or a textile shop or a furniture shop or any engineering field. Okay, wherever okay they want to make their marketing in a different way. Okay, so they can choose a technology called an augmented reality. Even like the paint shop, the architecture, okay, everywhere. Okay, so this particular field is landing. And now the second one is a virtual reality. Okay, like if you want to transfer a complicated training or a knowledge in a safest way, like I don't want to spend much money to transfer that knowledge, and I want to transfer that knowledge in the safest way, and time is not a big concern of transferring those kind of knowledges like that. Combining all these three things together, okay, so they have identified the virtual reality technology. So that is what like even in the medical, aeronautical, tourism, architecture, engineering, training, in everywhere, okay, this particular technology is getting landed. Okay, so now augmented reality applications can be explored in the mobile phones or in the web. Okay, and virtual reality means okay, those technology can be explored only in the respective devices. That is what okay, we are having a different gadgets. Okay, like a Meta Quest, HTC Vive, Google Cardboard. Like we have a specific devices to explore the virtual reality. But augmented reality, okay, so you can explore that application using the normal smartphone and using the tab also. Okay, combining both together, okay, so they are just creating couple of applications. So those technology, I mean those applications will be treated as a mixed reality applications. For exploring that applications, okay, so they can participants, okay, all of you kindly mute yourself. Yeah, mixed reality applications can be explored with the smart MR glasses. Hello. Yeah. These are all the couple of examples like how the actual VR application will look like.
నాకు యూట్యూబ్
So
లింక్
here,
పెట్టు.
okay, I have kept only the 4 photos. Like the first one is okay
గ్రూప్ లో
again, okay,
పెట్టేసి
which is
గ్రూప్ లో కూడా
related
పెట్టేసి
to the gaming. Okay, because VR device is
గ్రూప్
not
కూడా
only for just exploring a complicated training. Okay, even like using the same device, okay, you can explore a different era of gaming. And the second one is VR in architecture. Okay, like nowadays, like all the builders, like a construct people, okay, they want to attract the customers in the easiest way. So what they have done is like, okay, they have chosen this particular technology. So they are just showing the house model, like, okay, this is the building which we are going to construct, okay, after 2 years or after 6 months. This is the place where you are going to stay in your lifetime, like that. Okay, so they are just creating the 3D models and they are just making the customers to explore in the VR device. So when they are exploring, okay, before constructing the building itself, okay, by looking that feel, the color, the environment, the setup, everything in the VR mode, and the customers are so happy that, okay, that is what, okay, they are going to get in the future, like that. They are just paying the advance amount immediately. So like that, VR is working in the architecture field. Okay, again, like we are in electrical safety training. So that is what, okay, whenever, okay, we are going to work on some risk-based work. So that time, okay, if you want to transfer such knowledge or if you want to explore, okay, those processes in a safest way means, okay, so you can go with the we are in electrical safety training. Okay, then even the last one, which is related to the medical, like, because that is one of the risk-based domain where you won't get the life for any cost. So such risk-based training and all, if somebody wants to learn in a very easiest way or in a very quicker manner, so then they can go with this particular technology, okay, rather than just spending many days and months to run behind the seniors to learn the small things. Okay, so like this particular technology is not only for a specific domain. Okay, this is one of the open technology. Everybody can use it. Okay, the reason, so they can save the money. Okay, they don't need to invest crores and millions to explore the product of whatever, okay, they are going to build in the future. Rather, okay, they are creating everything in the 3D models and they are just exploring in the VR. Time, you don't need to really worry about the timing, whether it is a daytime or a nighttime or whether it is a raining or sunny or all those things. It's entirely up to you. When you are having the device, when you have a time, okay, you can export that application. The third one is safety. We have 100% safety in this particular technology. Okay, because these things only is really important in every domain. So using this technology, okay, we can achieve all these things. Okay, so now this is what the introduction about the VR. Now the AR part. Like as I said, AR is going to step into all the commercial areas. Okay, like uh, Snapchat is one of the easiest example of the AR application where that is something related to the commercial purpose. Okay, that is something kind of a entertainment related application. Similarly, like lens card. Okay, so using the lens card, you can explore all the frames whichever is not available also in that particular shop using that application. You don't need to travel. Okay, you don't need to take a risk. Okay, wherever, okay, you are sitting, okay, you can export that application, okay, in the safest way. Okay, like you can see so many images, okay, which is there in that particular slide. So even like the third one is the scientific one. Even the school kids, okay, if they want to know, okay, how the actual solar system or the NASA or the satellite is working, how it look like, okay, what are all the components are there, okay, how it look like, so the benefits, the operating system, everything can be explored in this kind of a technology. Okay, like we have many features. So that is what the augmented reality you can explore using the mobile phone. And all the commercial areas, they are just converting their marketing methodology into an augmented reality format. Okay, why? Because this is more interactive, interesting. Okay, you can customize. Okay, you can design whatever you are actually looking. So we have many benefits of this particular technology. Okay, so now combining these two together, we have a mixed reality. Like, see here, okay, you can play the keyboard and you can see the notes in the AR. And similarly, the medical, okay, similarly in the civil. Like we have many applications. So now, like for developing all these applications, we are using the same tool of what we are using to develop our games. Okay, as I said, this AR, VR, MR, okay, all these things are the actual product, okay, which was derived from the actual gaming. Okay, so gaming is the actual seed. So the tool which we are using to develop the games, the same tool, okay, we can use to develop this kind of an applications. So basically, generally, okay, if at all, if you guys are from a computer science, okay, you might be aware about the IDE, okay, integrated development environment and programming language. So combining these two things, okay, they will develop the applications. Okay, so now rather than just discussing about the theoretical part, okay, so we can just have a look on the tool. Okay, so for developing the AR/VR application, okay, you guys can use the same gaming tool. So for developing games, okay, we have many engines in the market, okay, but one of the famous engine is Unity 3D. Okay, so that is a gaming engine. So that engine is really popular of developing a 2D, 3D simulation multiplayer games. The same tool, we are going to use it for developing the same applications. Okay. And you can ask whether only that tool is there or that like that. That is not only the tool, okay, that is a famous tool. Similarly, okay, we have an Unreal Engine, we have a Cry engine, okay, even the using native code, native Android Studio and native Xcode also, okay, you can develop the AR, VR, I mean AR applications. But VR, you can show many graphics oriented. Okay, so that is what is important. So now we are going to see, okay, how to, I mean, work on the AR VR projects. Okay, so like let me share this slide later. Okay, we have many scope in the future aspects for the students and for the profession area. So this is what, like gaming industry is larger than the music and film industries combined. Okay, why? Because okay, during the COVID time, okay, all the industries were down, but everybody was exploring the games. Okay, so because we have got a chance to get together, okay, all the family people were just staying together. Okay, they were just, I mean, spending time with each other. So that time they didn't concentrate on developing any big applications. Okay, so they want to have a entertainment. So that time they have choose the tool. Okay, either okay they can watch a film or they can hear the music, but gaming is one of the interesting part in that particular time to make all of them to be engaged. Okay, that is what. So if you look at the past decade or the current decade or the future decade, okay, if you go in any generation, gaming is one of the application which will never go down. Why? Because those applications and all is based on the creativity. Okay, when someone is having more good ideas, good concepts, good themes, okay, so they can make it as a game and everybody will like the games. Okay, they will play, okay, through that, so they can survive. So that is what is mentioned. The project growth, the growth rate is 32.9 percentage, okay, CAGR in 2024 and 2030. Okay, fastest growth in Asia Pacific region, okay, because of like in the south side. Okay, so we are more I mean all the students or the youngsters, okay, they are very tech addicted. Okay, so they want to explore a different technologies. So because of that, okay, these technologies are getting more popular in our side and largest market in America. Like we have many scope for this particular technology. Okay, like we have a huge branded companies also. Okay, they are converted. I mean, they are just creating the hardwares. Okay, the gadgets. Okay, like Microsoft HoloLens and Apple Vision Pro. Okay, Sony HTC Vive. Okay, and like we have many XR. I mean the VR devices. Okay, which is already there in the market, and a couple of them are going to come in the future also. So see, you can see all the branded companies. Okay, those who are going to rule the world are focusing on this particular technology. So that is what, okay, we have more scope on these two technologies. Now, yeah. So here, why we are focusing on the Unity 3D, because this is one of the cross-platform support. Okay, cross-platform in the sense, like we have many devices. Okay, somebody are using the Android mobile phone, somebody using iPhone, and somebody is using the laptop, and somebody is using the PC, and somebody will only watch the Android TV. Like okay, we have a different platforms. So when you choose this Unity 3D, okay, you can target all the market at a time. Okay, like how when any film, any good films, okay, they are going to release at a time in all the different states means, okay, how they are just working. Similarly here, okay, you don't need to do much risk for converting the application for a different platform. you can write only once, okay, you can program only once, and with couple of small setting changes, okay, you can deploy the same application in a different platform. So what it makes is, at a time, okay, you can reach the market of all the platforms. So the huge, I mean, you the profit rate will be huge. Okay, you can focus on more number of customers, and you can reach your revenue shortly. Okay, and we have a vast community. Okay, as I said, like, okay, Unity is one of the famous tool across the world. Okay, even like fifth standard kids also can easily learn using this particular. I mean, they can use this tool and they can create a good games. Okay, even like Hyderabad is a good place. Okay, for this kind of a community, like IGDC. Okay, and Global Gaming Conference, NASCOM. Okay, a lot of events are happening in Hyderabad also. Okay, they are focusing on, okay, these kind of medias as well. And the third part is asset store. Like when we are developing any AR/VR application, okay, it is kind of a teamwork, okay, which is not going to be developed by only one person. Okay, so it is also kind of a software development. For developing the software, like, we need someone, okay, who has to come up with the idea, and we need someone, okay, who's supposed to write a code, and we need someone, okay, who's supposed to design the UI/UX, and we need someone who's supposed to test the application, and we need someone who's supposed to release the application. Like for developing games is also something like that only. Okay, it is kind of a teamwork. Only one person can't develop all those things. And here, okay, asset store. Okay, why I'm talking about all these things? Because lot of freshers and beginners, okay, so they will learn the programming part very quickly. And for designing part, okay, designing part in the sense, okay, the 3D models, the 3D assets, okay, so they have to design according to their use case or the problems. So there, okay, they will struggle. But what this Unity Asset Store makes is, for all of them, okay, so they can use this particular website called Unity Asset Store. There, they will get lot of 3D free assets. They can download it for free of cost, and they can use it in their project, and they can develop their portfolio or their applications. Okay, so that is what the beauty of the Unity Asset Store. Then extensive documentation. Whenever, okay, you are getting some, I mean, getting stuck in somewhere, okay, you can immediately refer the documentation. Okay, you can clarify your doubts. Even like we have a lot of forums and blogs related to the Unity 3D society. Okay, so you will get the help 24 bar 7 always. Okay, then it is flexible bar, developing a 2D game, developing a 3D game, developing AR VR applications, simulations, fighting, everything. Okay, like recently, like Byju's got so popular in a short duration because of this particular tool. Okay, so here, using this tool, okay, we can do many stuffs. Okay, so but the one who really know this tool, so they are just creating a different type of applications. Okay, they are running much better than others. Like we have many features. Okay, so anyway, like let it be. The popular games, the subways of Pokemon, Angry Birds, all these games were developed using this particular tool and applications. Okay, so using the Unity 3D, it is not only for developing the games. Okay, you can develop the digital twin applications. Okay, digital twin. Okay, for developing a digital content, okay, you definitely need a digital created, I mean, support application. I mean, the engine. Okay, that is what Unity 3D. And using the IoT, okay, together, okay, you can develop the digital twin application. And film and animation, okay, all the film industry or the 3D animation industry also can use the same tool to develop the animation films, okay, or the normal film editing. Everything can happen in the Unity. And architecture visualization, okay, so that is what we were discussing previously. Like all the builders or constructors, before going to construct the 20 or 30 floor building, okay, so they can develop the 3D model, and using the VR device, okay, they can explore and they can customize the whole building like anything without spending much amount or a 0% cost. Okay, then training and education, then retail and e-commerce, then medical training, then virtual tourism. Like we have many domains where these technologies are actually stepping in and making lot of changes in their lifetime. Yeah. Benefits. Okay, so basically, like recently, the Smart India Hackathon 2025 has released, and if you look at that, we have around some 12 to 15 statements, okay, which is focusing on gaming and AR, VR, and even like all those projects are the funded projects as well. Okay, so that is what, like when you are making the students also to be get awareness of these two technologies, okay, even can explore and they can really come up with the good projects and good solutions. Like we can make lot of things using this technology. And fine, yeah. So now we can move forward to the software. Okay, as I said, for developing these two technologies, like the same tool of what we are using called Unity 3D only, we are going to use it now. Like, see, basically, okay, if anybody wants to install, okay, so I can share the installation link. Okay, so you can follow the tutorial step by step and you can install it now. But anyway, like now we are having a short duration, so that time we can focus on only the important things, okay, rather than spending the time of installation. So now, like I have already installed this tool in my system, okay, and I'm using quite so long time. So basically, I'm going to create a new project like Unity Hub. Just double click. Whenever you're going to create the new AR application or the new game application or a VR application, everything has to be navigate through the Unity Hub interface. Okay, so first you have to open the Unity Hub interface. So this is the actual interface. So now I'm going to create a new project. Okay, so this is not the actual place where we are going to work on the project. Okay, this is just a main entrance. So here, okay, you have multiple options like project, installs, learn, resources, licenses, like. So like, as I said, like this is kind of a main entrance, or you can consider this is kind of a manager. See, if somebody wants to explore your college, okay, so without entering into the main gate, okay, so they can't explore any building, okay, they can't go to admission block or library or any other department like that. So this is also similarly like the main entrance. So once you enter here, we have many options like projects, installs, learn. Okay, project is nothing but, okay, using this option, okay, you can create a new Unity project or you can open the previous Unity project for the modifications. The second one is installs. So Unity is a famous tool. Okay, it has started from 1.0 and now we have the version of 6000 series. Okay, so we have many versions. So you can see, okay, which kind of a version, okay, you have installed in your machine and what kind of a support, okay, you have downloaded under that particular version. Okay, everything can be exported in this particular option. Then learn. Anybody who wants to learn this Unity technology, so here itself, okay, they have the provision like they have many video tutorials and using that, okay, so they can learn from the scratch of developing the whole game. Okay, so we have option. Then resources. So here, as I said, the Unity has stored the discussions, forums, blogs, okay, everything. Okay, you can explore here. And license part. So Unity is one of the paid and commercial tool. I mean the free tool. So the beginners and the freshers, okay, if there anybody who wants to explore this particular tool, okay, you can go with the monthly subscription based free tool. Else, if you guys are running your own business and if you want to get many features for your applications, means okay, at that time, okay, you can go with the licensed version. Basically, okay, we will prefer both the things. Okay, so now, yeah. So now let me go with the project option. Create a new project. Click the new project. Yes.
Hey, excuse me, sir. Can you maximize
Yes, ma'am.
your window? Can you maximize your screen, sir?
No, my max spaced, ma'am. That's it, ma'am. No, my max spaced. Hello.
Maximized. Sir, it is maximized. Fine, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. See now, like I'm going to create a new project. So I selected the project tool. Okay, here. As I said, okay, the Unity is not only for developing the games. Okay, using that, okay, we can do many applications. Okay, that is what, okay, they have mentioned as a template. Okay, see, we can create a 2D game, 3D game. We can create a fighting game, racing game, simulation applications, 3D mobile, 2D mobile, 3D PC, 2D PC. Like we can create anything in the Unity. But now we are just going to focus on the foundation part. So let me go with the 3D built-in render pipeline. And let me create a project like day one. Project name I have mentioned. Location. Actually, okay, you can click the folder symbol and you can choose wherever okay you want to save the project. I have chosen the D drive. So automatically, okay, the D:/ will be pop up over here. Okay, let me create. Either you are creating a new project or you are opening any previous Unity project in your machine. Okay, everything has to be navigated through the Unity Hub. Okay, you can't directly open the project. Okay, so now I have created a new project. So this is the actual place where it is loading. Once you create the new project or open any previous project, okay, now you don't need this particular Unity Hub window. Okay, you can close it. Okay. Now I have actually opened my Unity editor interface, okay, which is loading. So as I said, okay, this is something related to the graphics oriented. So when you are developing the AR/VR application, okay, you have to keep certain, you have to meet some requirements in the software oriented, okay, or the hardware oriented. Like for developing the VR application, you needed the graphics support machine. Okay, so you can't develop in the normal laptops. Okay, that particular machine should carry a external graphics card. Okay, not like an internal one. Okay, external graphics card. So for executing, for just exploring the Unity 3D software, okay, we don't need a external graphics card. Okay, even this software will work from the 2 GB machine also. Even like i3 processor also will support. But when you are developing the graphics based or the high end applications, that time graphics card is must. Okay, without that, okay, this tool won't support such kind of applications. Okay, so now I have created a new Unity project. So this is what we are calling as a editor window, Unity editor window. This is the place where we can develop the applications. That might be a game, or that might be an AR application, or that might be a VR application, or that might be anything. Okay. So now I just created my new project, which is still loading. Still loading. Let it load. Yeah. By default, when you create the new Unity project, okay, the interface will open like this. The interface will open like this. See, many of you or many of the students, okay, what they thought is, okay, once you create the new project, without knowing the tools and the technologies and the importance, okay, they will blindly start adding something and they will start creating script. And finally, if at all, if they get stuck with some small problem, they doesn't know okay how to debug it. Okay, because of that, okay, that will make them to lose the interest of learning such technologies. Okay, so but as per my knowledge, okay, I won't make any or I won't insist any freshers or beginners to directly work on any big applications. Okay, first part they have to understand all the tools and techniques. If you know to use the tools, okay, you can crack any application. But if you doesn't know how to use, where to use, and when to use, then if you spend years also, okay, you can't learn any technology. Okay, that is what my yeah. So now the whole interface is divided into couple of subdivisions. Okay, like see hierarchy where I'm moving my cursor now. So this is a hierarchy. This area will be considered as a hierarchy window. Here it is a scene window. This is a scene window. Then game window, inspector window, then project window, then console window. Like the whole interface will be considered as a Unity parent window or Unity main window. Under that, okay, so we have many subdivisions or the segments. Each segment will be called in a different name. Okay, hierarchy window, scene window, game window, inspector window, project window. So the first one is a hierarchy window. Under the hierarchy window, okay, we have two game objects. Okay, one is a main camera, the other one is a directional light. Okay, so basically, when you guys are playing any 3D game, when you are exploring any game, so you can see on big, some gigantic character or some attractive character, okay, who's having the sword or gun in his hand, and that character is controlled by us. Okay, so you will press WASD key or the up arrow, right arrow, left arrow, or using the mouse pointer. Okay, you can control the character. So when you look at your screen, the character will be looking into certain angle, and whichever the angle okay, he is looking or watching, that particular area will be totally visible in the screen. I mean, in your computer screen or in your mobile screen. So what we are thinking is the character which we are controlling is having the eyes. Okay, he is having the vision. So because of that only, okay, in whichever the direction okay he is moving, okay, we can able to see that particular area in the display. But that is not the case. That is just the 3D model. Okay, the object which we are controlling is just a 3D model. Those models is created or was created in the Blender tool. Okay, so basically so many of them have a big confusion between the unit design tool and the development tool. Okay, so they might be confused, Blender itself, okay, we can create a AR VR, or Unity itself, okay, you can create a 3D model like that. Okay, first of all, okay, you have to understand between those two technology also. Okay, as 3D is a common word for developing the 3D application. Okay, so you have to use many tools. Okay, like Blender, 3dx Max, Maya. Okay, all these tools are the design tools. Using those tools, okay, you can create the 3D creatures. Okay, you can create the 3D model. Okay, like if you want to create an environment, or if you want to create a lab, or if you want to create any product as a digitalized, for that, okay, you can use that particular tool. Using that tool, okay, you can create such models, and you can apply a color, or you can apply a texture. Then rather you can rig and you can animate. I mean, okay, you can add small movements to those objects. That's it. Beyond that, okay, you can't do a full-fledged application in the Blender or Maya or 3DX tools. Okay, because the limitation of those tools is like that only. Okay, so you can create a 3D model, you can apply a color, okay, you can add some functionalities in the sense, okay, some movements. That's it. Beyond that, okay, you can't create a full-fledged applications. So whatever the model you guys are designing in those tools, you have to bring it in this kind of a development tool like Unity or Unreal Engine, or we have many engines in the market. So you have to bring those models here. Using the programming, okay, you have to add the life of those objects, and finally, okay, you can combine scripting, model, UI, animation, physics, programming. Combining all these together, okay, you guys can create an application, full-fledged applications in this kind of a Unity engine or Unreal Engine. Okay, so Unity is not meant for designing the 3D model, and Blender, Maya, 3dx Max is not designed for developing the full-fledged application. Okay, each software has certain limitation. Okay, so now, like the character, okay, we were talking about the character. So the games, okay, you guys were controlling the character. Okay, he is focusing on some direction. We are just pressing some keys. Based on that, okay, the character is moving, he is running, he is attacking, but that character doesn't have the vision. He is just a model. That's it. And how come we are having the feel that in whichever the direction he is looking, we can able to see in that particular portion in the screen? Because in the real world, all the human beings are having the eyes. So using that, okay, you can explore the outside world. Similarly, if somebody is not present in this particular call, and they can watch what we are discussing through the channel, like YouTube channel. So in the YouTube channel, okay, like whatever okay we are discussing, okay, it was captured by the camera, and using the screen sharing remotely, okay, we are presenting in the YouTube also. Means here we have a tool called camera. Similarly, okay, in the real world, okay, we have a tool or a hardware called camera. That particular hardware has more feature and more stronger than the human eyes. Okay, human eyes can only record the live things, but the camera can record the live things, and that can be play in any point of time in your lifetime. Even those files can be saved in the form of picture or a video those files were not erasable. Okay, you can export anytime. Okay, so that is what the beauty of camera hardware. Even like we have many settings in that. Okay, you can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can do the color correction. Okay, you can do many settings in the camera hardware to improve the quality of the image or the video or XYZ. Okay, so the real world human eyes are having certain limitation of visibility, but camera has more feature which is overcome far from the normal human eyes. So they have brought the same camera concept inside this kind of engine. So the character 3D model, okay, we can place in the gaming environment, and behind the character, okay, they will place the camera. So in whichever the angle or whichever the uh, direction, okay, the character is focusing in the same way, okay, the camera is also follow the same character. So what we are seeing in the screen, not because of the 3D character, okay, because of the camera. So the camera will capture something and it will render in the screen. Okay, so the camera has more feature that it can capture and it can render and it can store that file. So that is what main camera is really important, not only in the real world and these kind of engines. So when you are developing any AR VR application or any gaming application, the models which we are developing that doesn't have a vision, okay, we are bringing the same real world camera concept and we are just placing the camera behind the character or behind the object so that camera can capture that particular thing and it will be rendered in the screen. Okay, so that is how all the rendering things are happening in these kind of engines. So without camera nothing can be visible, so that is what it is important. Okay, now the second one is directional light. So basically light is a source which is helping us to see an object, to recognize an object, to get the actual feel of an object. Without the light, okay, the whole world will be dark. So in the real world, how we have a sun. Okay, so similarly in all the 3D engines, okay, it might be a Blender or it might be a Maya or it might be a Unity or Unreal Engine. If you take any tool, in all these tools, the camera and light, okay, these two objects are very, very mandatory. Without that, there is no concept of 3D. So that is why main camera and directional light, okay, these two things are coming by default. Okay, whether user are adding or not, that is a different case, but by default when you are creating a new project, these two things will come by default. Okay, main camera and directional light. Okay, so apart from that, if you are planning any use case to make it as an application, it means, okay, in that whatever the object, okay, you guys are planning to use, okay, all those objects also has to be listed in the hierarchy place. Okay, like main camera, directional light, chair, table, TV. Like, okay, if you are designing any lab, then computer, okay, tables, chairs, then door, wall, ceiling, like that. Okay, you can add all the 3D models of whatever you have designed in the Blender. You have to add in the hierarchy. Okay, so hierarchy is a place where by default, okay, you have a main camera and directional light. Apart from that, based on your application, okay, you can add all the 3D objects in the hierarchy, and all the 3D objects will be listed in the form of word. Okay, like main camera is a word, directional light is a word, and we have many other objects also, okay, you can use. So in the hierarchy, whatever, okay, is listed, okay, all those things is actually reflect in your application. Okay, so that is what the understanding. Okay, so whatever is there in the hierarchy, all those things are related to the application of what we are developing. Okay, so now the next one is a scene window. The next one is a scene window. So scene window, okay, here, okay, you can see kind of a wireframe. Okay, so basically the scene window will be considered as a workspace, 3D workspace. As I said, okay, this engine, here you have to program, here you have to design the environment. Okay, here you have to do a lot of setting changes. Okay, so you have to integrate many other objects and features. So here writing programming is one part, but designing the environment is another part. So If you want to design your environment means, okay, you need a space. That space only, okay, we are considering as a scene window. So basically scene window is a local workspace. Hierarchy window and scene window, okay, these two windows are correlated windows. Okay, these two windows are correlated windows. Okay, why I said correlated? In the hierarchy, you can find a name of the object, like main camera is a name, direction light is a name. Similarly, player one, chair, tree, truck, lorry, bus, like that. Okay, you can see only the name. So if you select any game object in the hierarchy, that particular object's shape and the 3D view can be visible or highlighted in the scene window. Okay, why? I have, I need two different windows. Okay, here okay, you can find the name of the object, and in the scene window, okay, you can see the original shape, the color, the position, the size. Okay, everything in the scene window. So that is what scene window is, a local workspace, and whatever the object okay you have added in the hierarchy, that particular object okay 3D shape can be explored in the scene window. And here we have many manipulation tools. Okay, these are all the manipulation tools, like if you want to adjust the position, or if you want to rotate the, I mean, if you want to adjust the rotation value, or if you want to increase or decrease the size of the object. So everything can be explored or manipulated in the scene window. So basically scene window is a manipulation window. This is a local workspace which is using to design the 3D environment as per your requirement. Okay, and hierarchy window and scene window, these two windows are correlated windows. Whatever okay you have added in the hierarchy, if you select the name, that particular object okay 3D shape will be highlighted like this. And here in the scene window, we have many manipulation tools. Okay, that we will come at later. Okay, so now this is a local workspace. Okay, this is kind of a open world. Okay, we don't have any limit for this particular world. Okay, we don't have any limit for this particular world. Okay, this is kind of a 3D geometry. Okay, like all of you can link this workspace with the 3D graph. Okay, so in the 3D graph, okay, we have x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. Okay, the same thing is indicating. Okay, all these three arrows are indicating the three axes only. Okay, the red color indicate the x-axis, the green color indicate y-axis, and the blue color indicate the z-axis. Okay, so now let it be. The third one is a game window. Okay, as I said, okay, the Unity 3D is a game engine. Unity 3D is a game engine. Whether you are developing a AR application or VR application or a 2D game or 3D game, okay, that doesn't matter. Finally, okay, that output will be generally called it as a game. Okay, so because the Unity is introduced for the reason of making games only, but because of many features are there, so they are not calling a different names. Okay, they are generally calling everything as a game. Okay, so now this is the final place where you can explore your application, or you can see the output of your application. Okay, see here we have a play button, pause button, and all. So once you click this play button, your application will start compile and it will start show the output. Now we don't have anything to show, so it is just showing the empty scene. So this is how okay you have to execute the project, and you can check the output in the game window. So now the fourth one is the inspector window. Inspector window is a property window. So basically properties are nothing but the attributes or the settings. Take an example. Okay, if you take a hardware like a camera, camera has many settings. Okay, you can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can change the lens. Okay, you can change the mode, or you can change the color correction. I mean, we have many options. Okay, all those options only were displaying in the inspector. Why? Because I don't want to always follow the same value in all my applications. Okay, every application has a different theme and a different ideas. So according to that ideas, okay, I want to customize my parameters also. So that is what the inspector window. So inspector window is actually a property window. So whichever the object okay you have selected in the hierarchy, that particular object properties will be displaying in the inspector. So these are all the values. Okay. And here, if you select directional light, okay, you can say the directional light properties. Now, the beauty of inspector window is either you select main camera, or if you select directional light, in both the cases, you can see transform is the first property. And not only these two, okay, if you add n number of other objects also, the first property is a transform property where I'm moving my cursor. Okay, transform in the sense, uh, during our 10th standard, 9th standard, okay, we have studied many 3D geometric mathematics like vector algebra, trigonometry, matrix, quaternion transformations. Okay, these are all the 3D geometric mathematics. Okay, like if you want to understand better way means, okay, like if you keep a dot and if you ask a normal human, okay, he can say that that is kind of a dot. But if you ask the same question to a mathematician, okay, so he will say that as a vector. Okay, and if you want to draw a line, then again we need two vertex and one edge. And again, if you want to create a surface, we need three vertex and three edges. So like that, if you want to create the big geometric model in the Blender, so first you have to make a surface. So like somebody will tell that, okay, you can go with the vertex and four edges. Okay, that can be treated as a square or a rectangle. But even though that square and rectangle is made up of two triangles. Okay, so that is what the logic behind those particular tools. Okay, now transform is a property. The transform property is a combination of three values. One is the position. In the real world, okay, if you take any game object, okay, that object has certain position. That position is defined in three different parameters, like x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. That is what indicates the position. Then rotation. Rotation is nothing but the angle. Okay, either that object is rotated in the x-axis, or either that object is rotated in the y-axis, or either it is rotated in the z-axis. Okay, so that is what indicates. Now, scale value. Okay, scale value is nothing but the size of the object. Okay, whether it is horizontally how much size, vertically how much size, and in the depth how much size. Okay, here 1 indicate 1 meter. Okay, according to Unity, 1 indicates 1 meter in the real world value. Okay, so if you multiply the position, rotation, scale matrix, okay, together, okay, we will get the resultant matrix. Okay, the resultant matrix only is considered as a transform matrix. Okay, so transform is one of the common property for all the objects in the real world. So that is what, if you add n number of objects, if you select the first common property is a transform property. Okay, below that, whatever is coming, okay, those properties are based on the nature of the object. Okay, nature in the sense, the camera's nature is something different, okay, which is using to capture and render the environment. Like, see, everything perspective, vertical, field of view, all these are something technical aspects of the camera. Similarly, directional light. Here, type of the light, color, mode, intensity, shadow, strength, resolution, XYZ. Okay, so transform is a common property. And whatever is coming below to that, that is based on the nature of that particular game object. Okay, here I am keep on using the name called game object, okay, because in the industry, okay, we used to use the same technical term. Okay, whatever, okay, we are using in this particular engine will be considered as a game object. Okay, so now project window. So basically, in Unity, if you are developing any project, so the project is a combination of, as I said, a 3D model, a UI image, a audio file, a physics, animation, a 3D character, a scripting, a plugins. We have blah blah blah. So many things, okay, we are combining together and we are making an application. So all those objects we have to keep inside the project window under the root folder called assets. Okay, assets is a root folder. Inside that root folder, okay, you have to create a different subfolders, and based on the character, okay, you can save those files under the respective folders for the project management. And the last one is a console window. So here, when you want to debug your applications, whether it is correct or it is wrong, okay, everything can be debugged through this particular window. So basically, this console window will pop up the error in the form of a statement. If the statement is in white color, that is just an information. If that statement is in a yellow color, that is kind of a warning that won't majorly affect the application. But if any statement, okay, which is popping up with red color means, okay, that is kind of a error or a bug. So that you're supposed to fix it. Okay, so that is what the meaning of the three different colors. So this is what the small introduction about the Unity interface. Okay, so when you open a new Unity project, the project will open like this. The whole window will be considered as a Unity main window or a parent window. Inside that, we have a hierarchy window, we have a scene window, we have a game window, and we have an inspector window, we have a project window. At last, okay, we have a console window. Okay, like these are all the default windows. Okay, and hierarchy is a place where you have to add all the objects of whatever, okay, you are going to use in your application. And here, all those objects will be listed in the form of words. Then the scene window. Okay, scene window is a place where you can export the 3D models. And hierarchy window and scene window, okay, these two windows are correlated. Here it is in the form of word. In the scene window, it is in the form of shape. See, now I selected the main camera. You can see the camera icon. If I select the light icon, this is the directional light icon. Then game window is the final output window. Inspector window is the property window, project window, and console window. Okay, so now let me add a game object. Like a game object, as I said, this Unity tool, you can develop the 2D application, 3D application, and AR, VR, anything. But still, across all the 3D softwares, okay, these things are common. Okay, if somebody might be aware about the Blender or Maya 3ds Max tool, there also, okay, these shapes will be available. There also the camera and directional light concepts is there. Similarly, in this engine also, okay, we have all these things. Okay, why? Because these are all some mathematical based concepts, okay, that will reflect across all the 3D tools. Okay, so now 3D object. Okay, here you can see cube, sphere, capsule, cylinder, plane, quad, all those things. Okay, so all these objects you can consider as a 3D game objects. On top of that, okay, you can consider this as a geometric objects. Okay, why? Because these objects have certain formula. Okay, so the formula is common across worldwide. So using the programming language, okay, you can easily find out the length, breadth, area, size, degree, angle, that, this, everything. So that is why, okay, these objects only will be there across all the 3D platforms. Okay, here, okay, you can't find a 3D creatures like a chair, table, tree, a human body, or a vehicle, or a gun, all those things. Okay, why? Because those objects doesn't have any formula or any specific rules and regulations. Okay, so now let me click a cube. So now you can you can understand the hierarchy window and scene window in a better way. See, I just clicked a 3D cube. See, like game object, 3D object. I just clicked cube. You can find two changes, okay, which happened in my project. Like in the hierarchy, you can find a new word called cube. And if you select that cube, you can see the cube shape in the scene window. Okay, so this is what the difference between the hierarchy window and the scene window. Okay, you can add any game object in the hierarchy. There you can track using the name. And if you double click or if you click, you can track the actual 3D shape. Okay, so now adding the object in the hierarchy is not a big deal. Okay, whatever, okay, you are adding, okay, you should know to place it properly. Okay, you should know to place it properly, because if you doesn't know to place the object, then you can't learn this tool. Okay, so that is why, okay, first you have to learn the manipulation tools. Like you have a hand tool, move tool, rotate tool, scale tool, rect tool. We have a couple of tools. Okay, see, the first one is a hand tool. So that technical term is a view tool. So if you select that particular tool, the tool will be highlighted in the blue color, and immediately, okay, your cursor point will become like a hand. So using this particular tool, okay, you can view the whole world. I just clicked my mouse pointer and I'm moving my cursor. So you can view the whole world like this. That is what the use of view tool. Okay, then zoom in, zoom out. Okay, I'm just doing zoom in, zoom out. If you want to go to the close-up mode or far mode, You can go with zoom in and zoom out. Okay, the next tool is move tool. So once you select this move tool, immediately that tool will get highlight. The use of this particular tool, whenever okay, you are designing a 3D environment, you have to place an object in the proper position or in that respective positions. Suppose if you want to design an environment, there you have XYZ objects, and all these objects supposed to be placed in certain position. So if you simply add in the hierarchy, okay, it won't be automatically placed in that position. Okay, so you have to cross verify the values, or you have to check in the scene window. Like how you just select the object and you just select the move tool. Okay, immediately, okay, you will come to know the actual position in the inspector. See, position is -0 in the x-axis, 2.8 in the y-axis, -1.31 is the z-axis, like that. Okay, on what basis, okay, this particular values are calculating? Because the whole origin, okay, the whole world will start from the origin of 0, 0, 0. Okay, you have to consider 0, 0, 0 is the origin for all the whole world. So based on that only, okay, this value is calculated. Okay, so now if you want to adjust the position, like if you want to keep this particular cube exactly like in 2, 2, 2 position, means okay, you can change the value like this: 2 in the x-axis, 2 in the y-axis, and 2 in the z-axis. Okay, so here okay, you are just making changes in the position. But how it look like in the actual output, okay, that you have to cross verify. Okay, you can't simply change the values. Okay, you have to make sure that whatever okay you are adding inside the hierarchy window or the scene window has to be placed properly in the exact position. That has to be cross verified or confirmed in the game window. See, let me select the game window. Here okay, you can see the cube. So that means you have placed cube properly in the scene window. So how come I can consider okay whether I have placed properly or not? Because whatever the game object okay you are adding inside the hierarchy, that has to be rendered because of the camera's position and the object position. So if you place the cube behind the camera, then it won't be visible. See, in the game window it is not visible. If you place exactly on the same position of camera also, see, it is looking like this. So that is why the placement is very, very important. So for placing the object, okay, so you have to use the move tool. So when you use that particular tool, and if you select any game object, on top of that game object, okay, you can able to see this particular icon. Can you see the cone arrow? Okay, this is a cone arrow icon. If any game object okay which is highlighting with this particular icon, means okay, in this particular mode you can only move the position of the game object. Okay, in this mode okay, you can't able to rotate or you can't able to increase the size. Okay, you can only change the position. Like how? If you want to move in the x-axis, just click the red color cone, pull it like this. If you want to change in the y-axis, click the green color, pull up and down. If you want to make changes in the z-axis, click the blue color, pull forward and forward. Okay, so here you have to understand one rule. The Unity is following the left hand thumb rule. Okay, left hand thumb rule. So if you keep your left hand thumb rule like that, so you can find the middle finger is a x positive, the thumb finger is y positive, the point finger is a z positive. Okay, so that is what we are calling as a left hand thumb rule. So here, see, the x-axis is always pointing to the positive axis, the y positive and z positive. So now in this view, okay, you can't feel that okay, the Unity is following the left hand system, left hand coordinate system. So you have to change the whole angle. Angle in the sense like I'm just press Alt in the keyboard, left mouse button down. Together, I'm just dragging my mouse pointer. So this is what we are calling as a left hand coordinate system. See, x positive, Y positive, Z positive. Okay, you should know to use the shortcuts like Alt and leftmost button down, and you can rotate the whole view of the environment and zoom in, zoom out. So you have kept camera in front of the camera, and the camera is focusing on the cube. And if you look at the game window, okay, so how the camera is focusing, okay, similar way, okay, you can see the output in the game window. Like that, you guys should know to adjust the position of the game object. Now the third tool is a rotate tool. Select the rotate tool. Similarly, okay, so if you rotate the x-axis, the object will rotate like a forward wheeling or backward wheeling. Okay, so here, okay, you can't have a doubt like, okay, the x-axis is like this only. Okay, the green color supposed to be x-axis, the red color supposed to be a y-axis, and the blue color supposed to be a z-axis like that. No, that is not the case. See, as I said, okay, Unity is following the left-hand coordinate system. 1 second. See, pitch, yeah, roll. Okay, you could have heard those things. So this is what see. So when you rotate the x-axis, okay, the object will move like a forward wheeling and backward wheeling. When you rotate the y-axis, okay, the object will rotate like a fan. Okay, so it will rotate like a fan. And when you rotate any object in the z-axis, okay, you can get a clockwise or anti-clockwise. Okay, this is what the left-hand coordinate system. See, x, y, z. Okay, x positive, y positive, and z positive. But in the Blender, okay, this axis will slightly changed. Okay, now yeah. So now the second tool is a rotate tool. So if you want to rotate any game object like a forward wheeling or backward wheeling, okay, you can go with the red color curve and you can rotate like this. See, and if you want to rotate like a fan, okay, you can click the green color means Y. Okay, you can rotate like this. And if you want to rotate like a clockwise or anti-clockwise, okay, you can click the blue color curve and you can rotate like this. See, I just clicked and I'm just dragging my mouse, so it is rotating. So whatever the angle, okay, which is rotated, okay, that value will be reflected in the inspector. Okay, you can see my inspector also. I'm just rotating in the z-axis. So the z-axis value is keep on changing in the inspector. Okay. So the second tool is using to rotate. The third tool is using to scale. Okay, select the scale tool. If you want to increase the size, whether if you want to increase horizontally, okay, you can scale it like this. You want to increase vertically, okay, you can scale it like this. And if you want to increase in the z-axis, okay, you have to change the view. So basically here, okay, you would have come across with the doubt. In the scene window, the camera is here, the object is here. Okay, the camera is here, okay, the object is here. But in the game window, the cube will be always looking in the center of the screen. Okay, what kind of a logic is this? So basically, scene window is a local workspace, and the scene window will be considered as a audience view. Okay, audience view in the sense, okay, when you guys are visiting any marriage function, okay, the stage will be placed in some particular corner, and in front of it, okay, the cameraman will be shoot the photos and videos. So a couple of relatives, okay, so they can watch the whole environment by standing in a different corner. Okay, so that is what the view of scene window. See, I can watch the whole scenario in this corner, or 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 like this. Okay, but that view will never change the output of the camera. Why? Because cameraman is always focusing on the stage, and whoever is coming on the stage, okay, he is just shooting the photos and videos. Okay, so that is what the game window. Okay, so if you keep on change the view of local view, that will never change the output of the camera. Why? Because camera is always focusing on the cube. So only that particular thing will be displaying inside the game window. So this is kind of a camera view, and the scene view is kind of a audience view. Okay, so don't confuse between these two views, and you can scale it like this. See, you can scale it like this. I'm pressing Alt in the keyboard and left mouse button, and I'm just dragging. Okay, so now I'm facing a little difficulty. See, whenever I want to do some actions and I want to confirm the output whether it has come up properly or not. So I have to keep on switch from scene window to game window and game window to scene window like this. So for this particular thing, okay, you can ask whether do we have any options or the solution. Yes, we have a solution. Like you can customize the whole window. You can customize the whole window. Like how? In the right top corner, okay, we have an option called default. Okay, in the right top corner, we have an option called default. Okay, you can click that. Here, we have a different options. Okay, the first option is a 2x3. Okay, just click 2x3. Immediately, the whole interface will be changed. Okay, two windows will be rendered horizontally, and three windows are rendering in vertically. Okay, two windows horizontally and three windows vertically. Okay, so this is what the option of 2x3. Okay, so even like further also, okay, you can customize. See, now let me bring the project window, keep it like this, open the same window. Even like the project window is divided into two different parts. I don't want two different segments. Let me make it one column layout. Let me make it very neatly like this. So whatever the changes I'm doing, that can be immediately reflect in the game window, and I can confirm then and there. Okay. So once you do some changes, and I don't want all these changes, okay, I want the default values to be applied on that respective object. Means, see, in the inspector, we have a transform, and we have three dots. Just click and click reset. So the position values is reset into 000 coordinate. The rotation value is reset into 000 angle, and the scale value is changed into 111. Okay, 11 meter. Okay, so this is what the default option. So now we have a manipulation tools like view tool, move tool, rotate tool, and scale tool. By looking the icon, okay, you have to remember like you are in which mode. In this mode, don't try to change the position or don't try to rotate, okay, because this mode is for scaling or expanding the size or shrinking the size. Similarly, in this mode, don't try to change the position or don't try to expand. And in this mode, you can only move the object, okay, you can't rotate or you can't expand the size. Okay, now let it be. I selected the cube, and if I want to add one more game object similarly like a cube, we have a shortcut called Control D. Okay, we have a shortcut called Control D. Okay, select the cube, press Control D. You can see a changes has occurred in the hierarchy window. Okay, cube bracket 1. If you look at the hierarchy, okay, you can understand that, okay, you have two cubes in your application. Okay, you have two cubes in the hierarchy window, but when you look at the scene window, okay, you can't figure out whether you have two cubes in your project. Okay, that is what more important now. See, by looking the hierarchy only, okay, you will come to know that, okay, how many game objects and which are all the game objects, okay, you have used. By looking the scene window, okay, you can't confirm how many objects, okay, you have used. Okay, because if two objects are just placing one on each other, then here, okay, you can't understand. Okay, you won't come across this kind of a problem. Okay, why? Because, okay, why I'm saying this? Because like you are not supposed to place two objects similarly in the same place. When what kind of issues, okay, it will make? Because like take an example of the subways of game. Okay, the characters keep on collecting the coin. So when he collect one coin, okay, the score supposed to get increased by 10. But when you are placing two coins in the same position, okay, instead of getting the score increasing by 10, okay, it will immediately increasing by 20. So then the tester will immediately report that as a bug. See, I have collected only one coin, but the score is increased twice like that. So that is what, like, you have to keep on compare the hierarchy window and the scene window. Okay, so now I have pressed Control D. First, I have selected the cube and I pressed Control D. So here I have got one more new name called cube. But in the scene window, okay, which is still showing only one Y, because when you duplicate any game object, the position, rotation, script, feature, everything will come as it is like a selected object. So that is why here I'm not able to find the two different cube. So you can slightly change the position. So you can find two different cubes, two different objects. Okay, similarly, if you press Control D, okay, you can find one more game object. So now, like that, okay, you can add n number of cubes. And I'm telling that, okay, each cube has a different feature and different purpose. But by looking this scenario, nobody can believe that, okay, four different cubes is for four different purposes. Okay, why? Because all the cubes are similar in shape, similar in color. So in that case, okay, I can't tell that, okay, all the four cubes has a different features. So first you should know to make the objects to get differentiate between each other. Okay, how to show the difference? One of the easiest way to show a difference is applying color. One of the easiest way to show a difference is applying a color. Whether you are educated or uneducated, okay, that doesn't matter. But by looking the color, okay, you can judge. No, both the colors are not same. Okay, it is two different colors. Okay, like that. Now I'm going to show the difference. So if you want to show a different, okay, you need a component called material. So that was the same thing, okay, which will reflect in the Blender also. So once you complete the whole modeling part, and the next part is, okay, you have to create a material and you have to create a texture and all. So now this particular tool is having only a certain features, okay, not exactly like a Blender. Okay, I can create a texture and all, but I can create a material. Like how? See, I have a project window. Under that, I have assets. Select the assets, right click, create, right click, create. Here you have an option called material. Here you have an option called material. Okay, just click this. I have got one new component called a new material under my assets folder. Can you see this? Let me rename this as red. Why? Because here I'm going to select the red color. So I just renamed it as red. So in the inspector, okay, you can see all the material properties. Okay, all these are material properties like albedo, metallic, smoothness, source, everything. So here, okay, we have a color. You just click in the center of the screen, the color window will open. And you just select whichever the color you want. Okay, so the circle area which is using to select the color, the square area which is using to confirm the color. Okay, circle area which is using to change the color, and square area which is using to confirm the color. Okay, so now I have selected the red color. Immediately, okay, the red color was applied on the sphere shape like this. Okay, so after that, you can drag and drop like this. You can drag and drop like this. Okay, now if you want one more different color, okay, so don't need to change in the same place. Okay, you have to create one more material. Okay, either you can follow the shortcut like Control D. I will get one more new material, and here you can change the color, and you can rename this as green. Okay, and you can just drag and drop like this. Okay, then you want one more color, you can follow the same procedure. Else, assets, right click, create material called yellow. Yeah, let me use a red once again. See, this is how, okay, you can show a difference. Okay, this is one of the way where if you want to make a difference using the solid color, okay, you can follow this procedure. No, I don't want to make a difference using the solid color. Okay, like I want to create a checked shirt kind of a texture. Okay, because every object has a multicolor. Okay, it is not like a single color. Okay, we have a multicolor in the many different areas. Okay, so that file only we are calling as a texture file. Suppose, okay, if you want to show a different or a multicolor on top of this cube, means okay, you can download a texture file. See, uh, okay, let me type this as gift box. Okay, now each image has a different color, multicolor. Okay, suppose I want to show this particular image on top of the cube. I can download it from the internet blindly, but this images is not actually made it for that particular cube. Okay, so now let me save the image. Save the image as JPEG or PNG. Okay, only in two different options, JPEG or PNG. So let me rename this as G1 gift one, the desktop. So see BG1, BG2 like that. Okay, I have already saved. Okay, so now I have BG1 and BG2. So now you can't directly drag and drop this image file. You can't directly drag and drop the image file on top of the cube which you have placed in the scene. Okay, so you have to follow a procedure like how first you have to bring inside the project window. From the project window only, okay, you have to use inside the hierarchy. Okay, you can't directly drag and drop those images on top of the cube. Okay, so now we have many options like assets, right click, import new asset. You can select these two images together and you can click import. This is one of the way. Okay, else select these two images, drag and drop on the assets. See BG1, one more color, and BG2, one more color, red color. Okay, we have many ways. Okay, so you can follow whichever is comfortable for you. Okay, but you don't need to keep the similar images many times. Okay, avoid the duplication. Okay, so now I have already applied the solid color. On top of that, like I don't want this color. Okay, I want to use this BG. Okay, like if you select that image in the inspector, this file will be treated as a texture file. This file will be treated as a texture file. Okay, texture file means okay, the texture file can be applied on top of 3D models. Okay, you can't use it for designing your UI and UX. Okay, you can use it for applying on the 3D model. See, now you can see, yeah, this is the image. This is the image. Okay, so you just drag this red color and apply it over here. Move the main color. Okay, you can zoom in. You can see that file will be covered the whole cube like this. See? Okay, so this is also the another way of showing the difference among the objects. Okay, so now Control S, save the scene. Control S, save the scene. As I said, whatever okay you are doing in the scene window, okay, finally at last, okay, if you want to see the output, what you have to do is okay, you have to explore that output in the game window. Okay, so this is the game window. So first you have to click the play button. So just click the play button like this. Then my application is running. If you guys are not feeling so, okay, even like I also won't feel so. Why? Because there is no change at all. I just clicked the play button, okay, only the play button became in blue color. There is no other change in my window. So now in the game window, okay, we have an option called play focused. Click the drop down. Here we have option called play maximized. Play maximized. Just click that. Click the play button. See now my application is running. Okay, so this is how okay, you have to cross verify the output. Okay, my application is running. My game window became maximized. Okay, the blue color, okay, the play button is still in blue color, so the application is running, it is executing. Okay. And here we didn't do any much changes on this cube. Okay, we have added 4 different cubes and I have applied a texture, that's it. And there is no functionality. Okay, so now you can consider, okay, all these 4 cubes are kind of a static object. Okay, static objects in the sense, okay, there is no response, there is no movement, there is no animation, nothing. It is kind of a statue. Okay, suppose in the real world, okay, you can't make any game object like a I mean, you can't make any game object to just hang in the air. Okay, why? Because we have a gravity, we have a physics. So because of that, okay, the object has to come down, and once it reaches the surface, then it will stop move further. So that is what the feature for all the objects in the real world. But now you just placed all the 4 cubes, okay, and it is not like a real world object, it is just a statue because it is just hanging in the air. Okay, there is no surface or there is no ground, it is still hanging in the air. So in Unity, if you want to make any game object, okay, that to be reflect like a real world game object, then you have to attach the component called a rigid body. For your information, in Unity, you can make this kind of a static objects. Also, if you want to make any game object to be behave like a real world object, but real world game object means, okay, if you just throw it up, then it has to come down because of the gravity, and which has some force, which has some mass. Okay, it will move certain. Okay, if it is a ball, okay, it will roll on. Okay, like that. Okay, if you want to show the different functionalities, in that case, you have to attach a component called a rigid body. Okay, see now I have 4 different cubes. I have 4 different cubes. Let me select the red color one. Okay, like component, physics, component, physics. The first property is a rigid body. Rigid body is nothing but the physics property. Okay, let me click that. Rigid body is a physics property. Okay, let me click that. In the inspector, you can see a new change happened in the cube for the red color cube. Okay, rigid body component is attached. Guys, for your information, whenever we are going to attach any component or any feature, that feature to be attached only once. Okay, you are not supposed to attach many times. Example, for this red color cube, okay, I want to make the red color cube as a real world object. So I thought of using the rigid body component. So I just selected the cube, I selected the component, then physics, I just clicked the rigid body. So here the rigid body component is attached once. Similarly, okay, if you click once one more, it is throwing the error. But in the previous versions, okay, it won't throw any error. Okay, it will be keep on allow you to add the rigid body. Okay, so now why I'm telling that, okay, you're not supposed to attach the similar component many times or more than once, because okay, there is no use or there is no logic of adding the same feature again and again. On top of that, rigid body and all is one of the costliest feature. Okay, why? Because it is making that object as a real world object. See, you can find many values like it is adding the mass, drag, angular drag, automatic center of mass, automatic tensor, gravity value. Like we have many values under the rigid body. So this is one of the costliest component. So you have to use it carefully. Now I have attached the rigid body component to my red color cube. Now let me play, I mean execute the game. You can find the change. See, the red color cube is falling down. The remaining 3 cubes are just standing in the air. Okay, why? Because these 3 cubes doesn't have a rigid body. So like that red color cube, it has keep on going till where it will go, till it reaches the surface. Up to that particular point, okay, the cube will keep on moving. Okay, so now how to show the surface? See, game object, 3D object. Here we have an option called plane. Okay, this is a 2D plane, 3D object, plane. Okay, let me click a plane. So this is a 2D plane. Okay, if you make any changes in the y-axis, the respective of size, you can't find any difference. Okay, so let me rename this plane as ground. Okay, and the ground should be actually start from the origin of 0, 0, 0. Okay, let me click reset. So the ground is placed exactly on the 0, 0, 0 coordinate. And if you look at the scene, the ground is looking little small. Why? Because the cube is outside the plane. So here I want to cover that area. So I have selected the ground, the x-axis. Scale is the actual size of the object. The x-axis, let me change like 10. After that, okay, you can adjust all the cubes. Select all the cubes together. Move tool is selected. Adjust the Y position. Even like you can find the shadow also. Control S. Control S. Click the play button. See, the red color cube is falling down till it reaches the surface. The remaining three cubes are just standing in the air. So, in your application, okay, if you want to make any game object to be behave like a real world object, okay, for such objects, okay, don't forget to attach the rigid body. Okay, now, now Now I have done something. Okay, if I want to show a different experiment, okay, so how to go with? Whether I want to delete all these things and I want to go with the new features in the same scene? No, it is not the way. Actually, in the Unity, every experiment can be considered as a scene. Okay, every experiment considered as a scene. See now, see the name itself is a sample scene. Okay, the thing of the activity of whatever okay, I have done till now will be saved in the form of scene on the name of sample scene. Now, if I want to create one more new place or a page to explore a different activity, you can go with file, new scene and create. I have got the new page or a new place to explore. So once you create the new page, okay, don't forget to save. Why? Because when you are creating the new project, okay, but that time by default, okay, the new scene will come. But later, okay, you have done something, and if you want to create a new scene, okay, you have created. And now don't forget to save this scene. Okay, let me press Ctrl S inside the scenes folder, experiment 2, and save. You can ask, okay, how to track the previous one. Okay, so how to track the previous one? See, everything will be saved under the assets folder. See, scenes folder is there. Just to open that, you can find sample scene. If you double click, that previous scene will be open. Okay, if you double click the experiment 2, the empty scene is open. Okay, because I didn't do any changes or modifications in this scene. Okay, this is just an empty scene. Okay, so now you guys have to practice this manipulation tool. Okay, so if at all if anybody is trying, okay, you can practice this particular exercise. Okay, so now see, let me add a ground. Now set, make it 10 in the x-axis, make it 10 in the z-axis. Now the ground is looking white in color. Suppose if you want to change this color means, okay, and that color should be a green. So if this is the color if you want to use for this particular ground means, okay, you don't need to create one more new material. Okay, you can use the same material. Okay, why? Because that is what the feature of the programming. Okay, so basically the Unity is following the OOPS concepts. Okay, OOPS concept means okay, the polymorphism, abstraction, inheritance. Okay, all those concepts are followed by this particular tool. So here you don't need to create the same feature again and again. Okay, you can reuse those features. Okay, like just drag the green color, drag and drop. See now, you can find the green color applied on the ground. Okay, so now game object, 3D object, add a cube, adjust the position, increase the size like this. Rotate. See? Now I want to create one more cube. Select the same cube, Control D. Select the move tool, bring it down. The rotation value is -22. So if I remove the minus, it will rotate in the opposite way. Select the first cube, Control D. Yeah. So now all the objects are static objects. Okay, I didn't attach any rigid body. Okay, Control S. Now select the game object, 3D object, add a sphere. Zoom out. Attach the yellow color. Now select the sphere, component, physics, a rigid body. Component, physics, a rigid body, Control S. Click the play button. See? I have a rigid body component which I have attached for the sphere. So because of that, the gravity, mass, angular drag, okay, everything is applied because of that force. Okay, the ball is falling on this cube to here and here to here. Okay, it is kind of a slope. Okay, so now you can see I'm not able to see the whole view. Okay, so in this case, you have to use the logic. Either you adjust the camera, like, okay, you can select the camera, you can move the z-axis, okay, you can bring it back. This is one way of making the whole scene to be viewed properly. Else, Control Z, select all the game objects, excluded round, you make it forward. Both the ways, okay, you can adjust the view. Okay, so now see. Because of the force, the gravity, the ball is keep on rolling. It is controllers. Now, yeah, so we have seen the rigid body component. Okay, now the next one is like, okay, we have a collider. So basically, okay, select a cube. Select a cube. In the inspector, okay, you can see a component called box collider. Similarly, okay, if you select a sphere, okay, you can see a sphere collider. So basically, okay, what it is, okay, what is the use of this collider? So collider is nothing but the invisible boundary. Okay, invisible boundary, because in the game, like you can take an example of a subway surf game. Okay, in the subway surf game, okay, you have to keep on control the player. Okay, either moving right or left, up, down, or jump or crouch like that. So in that case, if the character collides with the coin object, okay, the coin object will get destroyed immediately, then your score will get increased. Okay, so that is the logic. So now, like, how to figure out whether I have touched with the coin or not. Okay, whether I have collided with the barricade or not, or whether I have, touch with the wall or not. So because of this collider component, okay, the collider is nothing but the invisible boundary which will be created like as it is like a game object. As it is like a game object in the sense, when you use the default objects like a cube sphere capsule. Okay, these objects carries the same name of the collider. I mean the same shape of the collider also. Okay, like sphere. It is looking like a sphere. Cube. It is looking like a cube. Suppose when you are bringing any game object outside the Unity, like you have designed one big machine or one engine or any 3D character or any gun, that time, okay, that particular character doesn't have a collider. Okay, so you have to attach the collider manually. Okay, you have to attach the collider manually. See now, the cube has the box collider. Okay, this is an invisible boundary. Okay, similarly, sphere. Okay, like see, cylinder has capsule colliders. But when you are bringing anything from outside, okay, those objects doesn't have a collider. Okay, you have to attach it manually. Okay, why? Then only okay you can find a collision. Okay, collision means okay. See, like you have to follow the real world physics as it is in this application. Okay, like you can only walk on the road. Okay, you can't go inside the wall or you can go inside some other object. Why? Because that time the physics. Okay, you are breaking the physics. So if you want to implement the real world physics as it is, then you have to attach the collider for all the game objects. Okay, then you have to make any one object, okay, which is going to interact with all the game objects. For such objects, okay, you have to attach the rigid body. Okay, like see, in this current scene, I didn't attach the rigid body to all the cubes and the ground. Okay, it is unnecessary. Okay, but I have attached only to the sphere. Okay, so only the sphere is rolling on all the cubes each other and it is going on the ground. So in this case, you should know to use the components properly. Okay, when as you are developing AR application or VR application, okay, you can't add the components as per your wish. Okay, why? Because every application has to execute very smoothly in across all the devices. So if you are not following the optimization technique and if you use the components as per your wish, then that application won't be executed properly or smoothly across all the devices. Okay, that one thing is important. That is important. So now we have many things. We have many things like component physics, navigation, audio. So many things are there. Yeah. So before going to learn the AR VR, okay, you have to learn all these tools and techniques. Okay, why? Because AR VR is just an advanced version of gaming. So you should know to use all these components thoroughly. So based on that, okay, you can design any AR VR application. Okay, so now like this is a component and what else? As I said, Unity is a multi-platform support platform tool. Okay, like how? Select the file. Here, build settings. See, as I said, using this tool, you can create an application for the Windows, Macs, Linux operating system, or any dedicated server, or Android platform, or a WebGL platform, or the Universal Windows platform, or iOS, or PS4, or PS5, tvOS, visionOS. Like, okay, we have all the platforms. So this is what the beauty of the Unity 3D. Okay, so every time you don't need to create a different coding part for a different platforms. Okay, say now this is a PC platform. Okay, how to identify whether this is a PC platform or not? Okay, at the top you can see Windows, Mac, Linux. Okay, these are all the PC. Okay, personal computer platforms. So there by default the Unity project will be open the project for supporting the PC platforms. Okay, this is one thing. Controllers. Now select the camera. Okay, select the camera. So here, okay, camera has many options. Okay, camera has many options. So like a clear flags, background, culling mask, field of view and all. Okay, so field of view is nothing but like uh, how much far the object has to be view. Okay, that is a near and far. Okay, the field of view. So you can change. So can you see the area? How broader the camera can view the outside world. Okay, so that is what the view. See, If you want to show any animations or any features like this, okay, so you can change the value of field of view. But by default, okay, we can go with 60 controllers. Still, we have many tools, and yeah, so I think like if you have any doubts or clarifications, okay, you can ask. Okay, like we can continue the other points in the tomorrow session. Any doubts?
Yeah. Requesting participants, if you're having any question, please ask. It is open for question.
Because this is not the tool you can learn overnight, okay, because this is a version. Okay, I'm just giving the small tips and bits and pieces of an information, like okay, which are all the important components and how to go with this particular tool. So for developing the AR/VR, okay, so we need a regular practice of using this tool. Okay, so if you're having a regular touch, okay, so you can develop really a good application. That also, okay, we will explore by end of this session. Okay, even like for the tomorrow session, day after tomorrow, okay, we have a different concepts and ideas which we are going to discuss it. So definitely, okay, you guys will get the actual taste of developing the AR/VR application using the Unity. Okay, that I'm sure. So meanwhile, like if you're having any doubts, okay, you can clarify it now. Because even like I didn't confirm whether you guys are getting those points whichever I'm just explaining or not. But that's what like I have just kept only for 3 to 5 minutes for the doubt session.
Ramesh sir, could you please share that software which we can install?
I will share the link, ma'am. Okay, this is a free tool. Okay,
Ah.
so you can download it from the internet. Okay, I will share the YouTube link. Okay, you just to send across for all participants if they really want to explore.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So there is a question in chat box. It says we have discussed out about rigid
Rigid body and
body
materials.
materials.
Can you mention the topic? What have we discussed? Also, basic editor, how can we use? Means getting the question.
Okay, we'll ask
Yeah.
Bhavik sir. Can you please raise your hand? We can give you an option to unmute yourself.
No, sir, it's not a paid software. Okay, we can use it for free of cost. See, once you install the software, okay, so at the time in installation, okay, it will ask to activate the license. Okay, it will ask you to activate the license. Okay, so when you see, when you click add license, so here, okay, you have option like, okay, get a free personal license. Okay, you can click this once. Okay, don't click many times. You have to click this button only once and be patient. Okay, why? Because the service has to go and hit the server and they has to allocate the license for your ID. Don't click many times. Okay, then they won't. They can see it as a duplicate ID and they won't give the license for your ID. So just click only once. You will get the license for 1 month. Once it gets over, okay, again, okay, you can follow the same procedure to activate the same license. Okay, free license. You don't need to pay. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have discussed only the interface and two components. Yeah. The Unity interface.
Can we find the defects in the substance through simulator? Someone is asking, sir.
Yeah. No, 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 sir. Okay.
Samira
Because,
Devi, ma'am.
yeah, the whole software is made up of lot of physics and mathematics. Okay. So that time we won't never feel any. You can develop everything in Unity, ma'am. Okay. So you don't need any substances on that. Oh. Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, yes. I got it. I got it. Your question. Okay. So yes, we can do it.
Josna ma'am? Can we use this software for simulation of mechanical links?
Yes, ma'am. 1 second. Can you see the examples, ma'am? Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, sir, they are visible.
Yeah. See, we have many examples, ma'am. Okay, like I want to show my work company. Hello. Hello. Ma'am, can you see the screen?
Sir, yes, sir, we can see.
Yeah. See, turbocharger. Okay, so how to operate and how to see the internal parts. Okay, everything. Okay, like we have made it for the mechanical department. Okay, so see. You can operate the lever and you can. Welding simulations are there. So many things are there. He is controlling now. You can see how the machine is running on. Okay, how the engines are rotating, the internal components, everything. How to fix the electrode and how to, I mean, adjust all these things, everything. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
There is another question.
Yes, ma'am.
Are we gonna discuss about publishing the game?
Yes, that also I can ask them to, because publishing, like if you want to share the whole game in like across the friends in the free way, then we can show. But when you want to publish the game in the Play Store, then we need to go with the respective licenses. Okay, for that I don't know whether I will get the permission from my company or not. But I will show okay how to publish the game in the general servers, and you can share that link. So using that link, okay, you can make your applications to be visible for others. So they can play and they can send the feedback to your game also. Yeah, that can be possible. Yeah. But actual publishing, no. Like we have to follow certain protocols for that. Yeah.
Anything, anyone else? Any doubts? Or else please keep it in
Uh,
your question in
no,
chat box.
B. Appala Naidu sir has raised the hand, I
Okay,
guess.
okay, Appala Naidu sir. One second, I'll make go.
Yes, sir, please.
We can make it as speak.
Yes, sir. Appala Naidu sir, you can ask.
Sir, you can speak, sir. Sir, you are unmuted. You can speak. You can ask the question. Naidu sir. I think maybe by mistake. Anyone else? We'll move on to the other persons to ask the questions.
Fine, then I think we can wait. If at all, if they have any questions also, we can discuss.
Yeah, because another 2 sessions also Ramesh sir is going to take. Even if you are missing any question today, you can clear off your doubt in even other 2.
Yes, yes, you can download PC, Unity in PC. Okay, that's what. Okay, I will share the Unity installation link. Okay, you can follow and you can download that for your PC.
I request all the participants to turn on their videos. Lakhan sir?
Yes, madam. Madam,
Okay, done.
audible?
Hmm.
Audible, madam.
Okay, sir.
Sir, is it done? Ma'am is asking about the, is it completed?
Yes, sir. Taken, madam.
Okay.
Okay. Now I request Dr. V. Srilata madam to propose vote of thanks for today's session.
Yeah, thank you, Kavita ma'am.
Now, 1 second, madam. Yes, ma'am.
On behalf of the organizing committee and the Department of ECE, I express my sincere gratitude to our esteemed resource person, Mr. K. Ramesh Kumar sir, for delivering an insightful and hands-on oriented session on XR and AR/VR technologies using Unity 3D. The session provided valuable industry-oriented knowledge and practical exposure, which will greatly benefit both teaching and research activities. And I extend my heartfelt thanks to all the respected faculty members and participants for their active participation and cooperation. Thank you all. And just on behalf of the department, Ramesh sir, we are giving a token of gratitude to you. Please receive it.
Thank you, thank you, madam. Thank you.
So we'll wind up today's session and we'll meet tomorrow at 6 o'clock for the day 2 session. Thank you all of you. Good night.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Requesting all the participants to fill the Google feedback form.
Anita madam, are you there? Madam voice is not audible. Is she there or not?
I am there. I am there.
Okay. Madam, I'll just will share me WhatsApp group link, madam.
You
Okay.
can end. You
Okay.
can end. You can end the meeting.
Yeah. Ante, they'll be filling this form, no, ma'am? Feedback
Okay,
link.
okay.
We'll wait for
Okay.
time. Someone is asking for group. I'll just share it, sir. 1 second.
Group also, WhatsApp group also, this feedback form.
Madam?
Are you sharing this?
Yes, ma'am. I'm searching.
Okay, I'll share you to you.
Okay, fine. We'll wait for maybe about 2 minutes and then we'll wind up for the participants to fill the form. How to give feedback by internal faculty. Okay. Padmavati madam, are you there? Padmavati ma'am? Sir, for internal faculty, we'll share the link in our WhatsApp group, sir. Madam is not responding, so we'll wait for that reply.
For internal faculty, we can assign feedback in our VME, EduLife.
Dr. Srikant sir, you can check this link I had shared. Question number 2 is not displaying under. Shall we wind up, ma'am? Shall I end the meeting? Done, madam. Okay,
End,
fine.
Kavita. End.
Okay, ma'am. Right.